Boy Customs here. So I've done a couple videos of my Husqvarna PW3200 pressure washer. I've had it for roughly 2 weeks, and I've had a lot of questions and comments on a lot of issues and concerns that people are having that have purchased these. So let's address a few of those. So this is the Briggs & Stratton 208cc engine, and a few people have commented on two different oil fill locations. As you can see, there's one on this side and there's one on the other side. So if you take a flashlight and take the dipsticks out and shine a light in, you can actually see the light on the other side from the other dipstick. So what I did is I added the oil on one side and checked it once the oil was added, actually on both sides. They go into the same part of the motor. And I would say the reason it's set up like this is for many different options that they can use these engines for. If they have something that's mounted that's covering up this dipstick, you can still access it with the other dipstick. Now there's nothing in the manual that actually explains any reasoning why it actually does have two dipsticks, but that's just what I can gather from looking at the engine. Another issue some people are having is actually oil coming out of the dipstick tube. So there's usually some residual oil that's left in the engine. When they come drained of oil, but there is still some engine oil in it. So when you do add the oil, add probably 3/4 of the bottle, screw in your dipstick. It's got to be screwed in when you check the oil level, and then check your oil level. It probably won't take the full bottle. Mine didn't. And a lot of people are adding the full bottle of oil and they're experiencing a little bit of oil coming out of here. Now it does have an O-ring too, so also when you check your oil, actually check it on both sides, even though it's in the same part of the engine. Another issue some people are experiencing was with the 7-in-1 nozzle, and I've actually experienced it too. When I've used the nozzle and I stop pulling the trigger and then I go to pull it again, I've noticed that instead of this actually being lined up, you want the arrow lined up with what nozzle setting you want. I've noticed that sometimes it's right there. So always make sure when you're using it to make sure that the arrow is lined up here. I don't know if it's just a little bit loose to make it easy for people to use, but I have noticed issues with that where I've gone to use it and it's over here part way, and it's just kind of coming through different areas in the 7-in-1 nozzle, so keep an eye on that. Another issue a lot of people are having is the floats actually sticking in the carburetor. Now in order to fix that, most of the time you got to take the carburetor apart or the bottom part of the float bowl to fix that, and most people are actually just returning this. What's happening is it's flooding the inside of the motor. So if you're having issues with it running, that could be your issue. This is an issue I ran into. Your motor is actually mounted with 4 bolts and 4 nuts. I was actually using mine last week, and I noticed once I was done there was 2 nuts laying on the ground. So 2 of my engine mount nuts actually loosened off and actually fell off the motor. So make sure you torque those down. Again, I didn't check them when I bought it, but I never expected to have this issue. So always check your engine mounting nuts to make sure they're nice and tight. Now this is going to be a little bit hard to see, but underneath your gas tank, you'll see where the almost looks like a brass fitting with your fuel line going down. There's been a lot of reports of fuel actually leaking from this fitting. So always check that to make sure your fuel's not leaking. You don't want to start a fire. So a lot of people have been returning it for this issue. And people have also commented on issues with the fuel line leaking right where it goes in the carburetor too. So right here. So just keep an eye right above my finger here too to make sure there's no fuel dripping. So one of my pet peeves, this is the way I usually keep my wand. I've actually noticed that it's starting to wear through the paint, and all that's going to mean in the long term is I'm going to start having rust on the holder for my wand. So always check here. I may end up wanting to put some type of rubber or whatnot there, because this is only within less than 2 weeks that I've had this issue. My number one pet peeve about this is, again, and I've mentioned this in other videos, is that's how you're supposed to keep your hose up, with a little Velcro strap. And I've been finding that's the way I've been leaving mine. Looks like a mess. But again, I wish there was a mount here and here where you could actually loop your hose around, because it's horrible. And it certainly looks like a very, very cheap design why they would do that. There's been a few comments about the tires actually falling off, the little spindle. There's a little retainer clip here. There's no nuts and bolts that actually hold this on. And I would say they were having issues with this retainer clip popping out, which would allow your rim and tire to fall off. There's been also a lot of comments on issues trying to get it started. So what I do before I start this unit is I pull the trigger handle to release the pressure in the pump. And then you're going to want to make sure you turn your switch to the on position, which is down. You're going to want to make sure your fuel is on. When you're not using it, turn your fuel off. And how I started, put the choke on, pull it once or twice. If it doesn't, flip the choke over here, pull it once or twice. If it doesn't start, put the choke back, and it will usually start up. It usually starts up within a couple pulls. It's like anything, any small engine always has its little quirks and different ways to start it. With most engines, you just got to figure that out. But again, most of the issues is pressure on the nozzle. So release the pressure by pulling the handle on the wand and then starting it up as per the procedures. I found, as far as using the soap function with the 7-in-1 nozzle and actually using the soap dispenser that's built in, I actually bought a snow foam cannon. I use this. It uses far less soap, and the amount of soap that it puts out is unreal. I'll leave a link below on the video of me using that. Again, it's unreal. Once you use a snow foam cannon for cleaning a vehicle, you never go back. Again, this is just a short video on some of the issues that a lot of people are experiencing with the Husqvarna PW3200 pressure washer. Again, I've explained a few of the issues that I ran into. I've gone through about 2 tanks of fuel on it so far. Other than a few small minor issues, it's been working great. I have no complaints yet as far as the amount of power that the pressure washer is putting out. It's really, really good, you know, for the price point of it. And would I recommend it? I can't say for certain yet. I'm going to give it a couple months. Again, I believe it comes with a 3-year warranty, so we'll certainly be putting it through its paces. If down the road I run into some more issues or any little tips that I feel would be helpful for other people, I'll certainly do a follow-up video. Or if you guys want to see another video on some different options or using this a little bit more, let me know. Make sure you put it in the comments below. Or if you have any tips or suggestions for other people, put it in the comments below. If not, I really appreciate you watching, and again, I'll leave some links to a few other videos in regards to this Husqvarna pressure washer in the info below. If not, thanks for watching. Remember to like, comment, and subscribe. Take care. Have a great weekend.